Hello everyone, this is EB the Sponge Reviewer here, and this is the third and final video of my fandom wiki video series that I started on my main channel. And the reason I am doing this third and final video here on my Sponge Viewer channel is because that this is the SpongeBob Roblox series, and I have made a couple of videos of this series on EB the Sponge Reviewer, so it will make the most sense for me to talk about this series over here. Is because that this is a SpongeBob series that I created on my main channel, and I think it will make much more sense to record the video over here. So if you guys would like to see the other two wiki videos that I created, they will be in the description below, which I did on the Angry James show and the Super Mario Rhymes wiki. So this is the third and final wiki that I created using the fandom website. So we're gonna go ahead and get started with this video. So this is the home page, and we got these headers here. So we got about the show. So SpongeBob SquarePants the Roblox Series is an American YouTube series created by EB the Original Master. The series is an adaptation to the Nickelodeon TV show created by Steven Hillenburg with mature humor, original episodes, and references to many famous franchises. So about the creator, EB the Original Master started his YouTube channel on May 30th, 2015, and uploaded his first video, YouTube Poop, Sponge Out of Sus. In early June of 2015, EB soon was thinking of a new series he wanted to create for himself. And then finally, on June 11th, 2015, SpongeBob SquarePants Roblox Series was born, and the series legacy is now at season 2018. Well, not anymore, it's because the series had ended, but I made this wiki around, I would say, 2016 or late 2015 is when I started this wiki. So we got programs used for this series. We have Windows Movie Maker, Roblox Studio, Sound Recorder, Snipping Tool, and Bandicam. Here are the seasons 2015, 16, 17, and 18. And there's also season 2019, but this wiki was made before season 2019, so that's why you don't see it here. YouTube playlist. Yes, it says click this link and you'll be visited to the creator's YouTube channel playlist of this series. And you got the categories. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get things started by actually doing those seasons articles. So we have season 2015. So season 2015 is the first season of SpongeBob SquarePants Roblox Series. The season aired from June 11, 2015 to December 29th, 2015 with a total of 13 episodes. So of course you got this. Number of episodes 13, premiere June 11, 2015, finale December 29, 2015, transmission dates to be aired, production dates June 10th, 2015. Season chronologically, season 2015, and you got next season 2016. So we got the episodes, The Robbery, Sandy Sandy Quite Contrary, The Jellyfish Picnic, Patrick and the Beanstalk, Jurassic Sponge, The Ghost of Goo Lagoon, The Heat Wave, Social Sponge, Retroland, The Treasure Hunt, Plankton's Boot Camp, Patrick's Sweet Dream, Mine, Anchors Away, Patrick's Cousin, Rock Sponge, The Zombie Patty, Gary's Punishment, The Storm, Safety First, Squid Tut, Gamble Pants, The Great Christmas Lockout, The Speeding Ticket, and Patty Hyper. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually click on these links here to these episodes, read through them, and then we'll move on to the next season article, and then we'll do the same for that. So we got The Robbery. So The Robbery, the plot is that the episode starts at dusk at the Krusty Krab, or Mr. Krabs walks from his office and has a word with Squidward. Mr. Krabs explains to him that they're needed downtown for an important meeting for a Krusty Krab inspection. Mr. Krabs then calls SpongeBob in which he asks him to run the restaurant while he is gone and makes an excuse about it. Mr. Krabs and Squidward soon leaves this. Oh, wait. Mr. Krabs and Squidward soon leaves, and SpongeBob is left waiting for customers arrive. Well, they're supposed to be waiting for customers to arrive, but of course the grammar will be mostly off here. After 4 hours of waiting, no customer shows up, and which upsets SpongeBob and then falls asleep during his night shift. A robber soon shows up at the restaurant, which awakens SpongeBob, and he demands him to make him food. SpongeBob then explains to the robber, well, I don't know why you put robbery here, but again, the grammar. And yes, by the way, you guys, I actually created these articles here, and this is another reason why I don't make wiki articles on my. And the reason, wait, hold on. What I was trying to say is, the reason why I don't make fandom wikis based off of my shows anymore is because of stuff like this. Like, I don't need to make a wiki based off of my series, just because I don't see a need to do that, and it will be a lot easier if I just made, I don't know, like a Google Docs folder or a page off of the episodes of those series, and you'll just read from the plots. So anyways, let's see here. A robber soon shows up at the restaurant, which awakens SpongeBob, and he demands him to make him food. SpongeBob then explains to the robber that they only serve Krabby Patties, not cheeseburgers, in which the robber agrees to order upon, with kelp fries and a kelp shake blue raspberry. When the robber didn't have the total amount of didn't have the total amount for the food, he then forces SpongeBob to the kitchen to make the food for free, and which SpongeBob proceeds to do. Without paying up, the robber then rushes to the cash register, in which he has the sack full of cash. Mr. Krabs and Squidward arrives back from realizing the robber and the Krusty Krab, with SpongeBob by his side. The police then arrives with a taser, in which the robber drops the sack and runs off, and never returned to the Krusty Krab again. SpongeBob, Squidward, and Mr. Krabs then gives the food to the cop, in which he pays for, ending the episode with the three characters discussing the aftermath. Yeah, the grammar is not the best, and yeah, I've already addressed that. So you have the characters, SpongeBob SquarePants, Mr. Krabs, Squidward Tentacles, the robber, and the police. And I also wrote 3 quotes from the characters in the episode. So we got, "Quiet, Mr. Squidward, okay? I'm tired of you talking back." That's from Mr. Krabs. "I want a Krabby Patty with cheese and bacon." The robber. And SpongeBob says, "4 hours and no customers." All right, so that was the robber, the robbery. All right, so the next article that I created was the Jellyfish Picnic. All right, so the plot says that SpongeBob and Gary arrives from out of their houses as SpongeBob wanting to host his very first picnic with his friends at Jellyfish Fields. He arrives at Squidward's to ask if he wants to join the picnic, but he then refuses. SpongeBob then SpongeBob then threats Squidward on going, to which Squidward finally tags along. The two then arrives at Patrick's house and asks if he wanted to join the picnic, and Patrick agrees to join the picnic. They soon invited Sandy and Mr. Krabs and began to sing the picnic song, which upsets Squidward even more. When they arrive, everyone the nature, and Squidward began to complain about a jellyfish stinging him, and Mr. Krabs orderly tells him to pipe down. SpongeBob and the others then began to have the picnic on a picnic blanket, which SpongeBob feeds his friends Krabby Patties. Everyone enjoys the patties except for Squidward, in which he describes them as wet feet and diarrhea, and everyone gasped when he said those words. Mr. Krabs puts Squidward in timeout out in the bushes, while everyone, what the heck? Sorry about that, you guys. I don't know what the heck happened. Why is the page glitching out? You know, whatever. All right, let's see. Okay, there we go. Mr. Krabs put Squidward in timeout out in the bushes, while everyone else had a great time. After being put in timeout for a couple of hours, Squidward tells Mr. Krabs that he is heading home, and Mr. Krabs agrees completely with Squidward. SpongeBob and the others arrives back from jellyfishing and wonders where Squidward has gone, in which Mr. Krabs explains. Dusk arrived, and everyone headed back home to find Squidward resting on the rooftop of his home, and asks him to apologize for what happened during the picnic. Squidward refuses to apologize, and Mr. Krabs apologizes and takes the giant clarinet and brings it home with him, ending the episode with everyone discussing about the picnic. Alright, so here are the characters: SpongeBob, Patrick, Mr. Krabs, Squidward Tentacles, Sandy Cheeks, Gary. I don't know why Gary's all the way down there, but whatever. Quotes: "Man, this Krabby Patty tastes like wet feet, diarrhea," from Squidward. "Go ahead and suck a lemon," Patrick. "You don't know how long I was on that stove," from SpongeBob, and we got the song, the picnic song. Oh, we're going where? It's supposed to be we're, whatever. Oh, we're going to a picnic. It's going to be so cool with all my friends and everyone. This is going to be cool. This is going to be rad, like eating dirt. It's going to be fun. It's going to be awesome. Singing the picnic song, 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 song. As you guys can notice that the grammar in this wiki is very off. All right, so here's the description. Here are the little things. I'm not going to sit here and read this because you guys could see it here. And besides, I'm going to put this wiki link in the description if you guys do want to check it out for yourself, even though I'm making a video on it, but it is what it is. All right, so next is Patrick and the Beanstalk. All right, so the plot is Plankton is inside the chum bucket with his computer wife, Karen, coming up with new plans to steal the Krabby Patty secret formula from the Krusty Krab. Patrick comes along a few minutes later where Plankton calls for him outside the chum bucket. Patrick arrives to Plankton where he was given a deal from here. What? From here? Okay. Plankton wanted Patrick to go inside the Krusty Krab and grab the secret formula right from the restaurant. And Patrick then agrees not to do so because no formula means no Krabby Patties. Plankton then gives Patrick magic beans and will receive them if he steals the formula. Patrick agrees with Plankton and rushes his way to the Krusty Krab. Patrick arrives and meets with SpongeBob, asking him where Mr. Krabs is for the formula. SpongeBob then tells Patrick he's in his office, which Patrick then goes to. That's not the right to. Man, I swear to God. Okay. SpongeBob then talks to Squidward for a brief moment, shifting over to Mr. Krabs and Patrick. Patrick explains to Mr. Krabs his reasoning for the formula, and Mr. Krabs then opens his safe and grabs the formula and gives it to Patrick. After receiving the formula from Mr. Krabs, Patrick meets up with Plankton, in which he trades him magic beans. It's supposed to be beans, not means. Magic beans for the formula. Patrick gets his beans, and Plankton gets the formula where it is shift to dusk, with SpongeBob and Squidward leaving work from the Krusty Krab. SpongeBob then visits Patrick where he's at home planting the magic beans he got from Plankton. SpongeBob is curious from where Patrick got the beans from, to where Patrick explains to SpongeBob that he traded the Krabby Patty secret formula for magic beans from Plankton. SpongeBob becomes furious. I'm sure I spelled that wrong. And takes the watering can from Patrick and goes off to tell Mr. Krabs what Patrick had done. A giant beanstalk then grows from the ground, into which Patrick climbs up to avoid SpongeBob and Mr. Krabs. Mr. Krabs receives the message about Patrick and the magic beans, and both him and SpongeBob goes out searching for him. The two then spots the giant beanstalk near Patrick's rock, to where Patrick is afraid to come down and face his two friends. Patrick then climbs down and proceeds to give the formula back to Plankton at the chum bucket. Patrick takes back the formula from Plankton, and Mr. Krabs is off chainsawing the beanstalk down and finally getting his formula back, ending off the episode with SpongeBob and Patrick discussing about a sleepover. Yeah, my biggest problem is the grammar and the sentence structure. Yeah, but again, I don't make wikis anymore based off of my series, so it really doesn't matter anymore to me. So we got the characters: SpongeBob, Patrick, Mr. Krabs, Squidward, Sheldon, Jay, Plankton, and Karen. And I guess I didn't write down any quotes from this episode in this article, which is fine by me. All right, moving on to Jurassic Sponge. All right, so SpongeBob and Patrick visits the Bikini Bottom Museum to see the dinosaur exhibit. As they arrive, they meet up with a man running the cash register, and SpongeBob gets hissy when he was asked the name of the place. SpongeBob pays the $20 for the exhibit, and off they went to find it. After 2 hours of searching, SpongeBob and Patrick finds the exhibit outdoors, and right beside the dinosaur skeleton was a lever. The sign by the lever reads, "Do not pull," and Patrick was eager to see what would happen if he pulled it, which makes SpongeBob snapped at him for a little. Patrick then pulls out his camera and took a picture, and they went home from their adventure. During the night, Patrick is in bed sleeping and thinking in his mind about the lever at the museum and decides to return back to pull the lever. When Patrick arrived at the museum, the guardsman was already locking doors, where Patrick acts perplexed perplexity, whatever, perplexedly for the keys to go back inside. The guardsman then gives Patrick the keys and drove away, leaving Patrick at the museum alone. Patrick ends up at the dinosaur exhibit at night and then proceeds to pull the lever to see what will happen. He pulls it and then it sets an alarm off, which causes Patrick to run out of the museum. The lever causes the dinosaur skeleton to come to life and then starts roaming all over Bikini Bottom. The next day arrives, and SpongeBob heads off to work at the Krusty Krab and meets up with Mr. Krabs and Squidward. I spelled Squidward wrong, but it doesn't matter. SpongeBob explains his adventure at the dinosaur museum he had yesterday, to where Patrick comes running to the Krusty Krab to discuss the bad news. Patrick and SpongeBob are now found at the back of the restaurant, to where Patrick discusses SpongeBob what had happened at the museum last night, regarding to pulling the lever, which makes SpongeBob angry. You know what, to save time, I'm not going to sit here and point out every mistake that I made here. It's because I've already addressed it already in this video, that the grammar is already off, so I don't need to stop at every moment to correct the mistakes I made. So I'm going to try to refrain from doing that. The giant skeleton dinosaur was then spotted by SpongeBob and Patrick, and soon they rushed inside the Krusty Krab to warn Mr. Krabs. The dinosaur then busts the door of the restaurant, shattering the glass, upsetting Mr. Krabs, and fights back with his cash register he asks Squidward to yank out for him. Mr. Krabs then hurls the cash register at the skeleton, which makes the dinosaur do a tail swipe attack on Mr. Krabs, knocking him unconscious. SpongeBob finally figures a solution to run off the dinosaur skeleton by making a dino-sized Krabby Patty, and which he proceeds to make. After his masterpiece, SpongeBob then fires the giant Krabby Patty with a cannon from the rooftop of the Krusty Krab, and it finally runs off back to the museum. The episode ends afterwards with the gang discussing Patrick that never did he had done again. My God. Gee, that is awful. Like, okay. Alright, characters: SpongeBob, Patrick, Squidward, Mr. Krabs, museum cashier, museum locksmith, giant dinosaur skeleton. So we got quotes: me door, me $6,000 door, Mr. Krabs, shut up, okay, you are already making me angry. That's the wrong your, but okay. Alright, let's see. Do not pull lever, Chuckles. Do not pull lever, my crazy censored beep, Patrick. Okay. Alright, so next is the heat wave. Alright, so the plot is, it's a very hot day in Bikini Bottom, and SpongeBob and Patrick are outside facing the worst heat ever hit below the surface. Patrick tries to cheer SpongeBob up from the heat, but it makes it worse for him, as he explains that the fan doesn't work. An ice cream truck pulls in a few minutes later. Oh, excuse me. An ice cream truck pulls in a few minutes later, where SpongeBob and Patrick buys to help cool them off from the sun's heat. SpongeBob gets vanilla ice cream while Patrick gets chocolate, and soon have an ice cream eating contest to see who could eat their ice creams the fastest, and Patrick won. When the ice cream cones didn't cool them down, they dropped over the Squidward's for bottles of water. They arrived at Squidward's, where he's about to enjoy the sun's heat, and both asked if he could lend them some water. At first, Squidward didn't want to give them the water, and after when SpongeBob pushes his limit, he gave them the water. SpongeBob and Patrick soon has another challenge, but it's a water chug challenge, and Patrick wins yet again. Since the water didn't cool them down this time, they soon ask for help from a smart person, which happens to be Sandy. The two arrived at Sandy's tree dome, where she's having her own little problem. The vent inside her tree dome will not somehow work, and the instructions she has are in Japanese, so they can't fully translate them. SpongeBob and Patrick figure that connects to the outlet is fried, so they go to Mr. Krabs for a new cord to give to Sandy. They arrived at Mr. Krabs's, where SpongeBob must pay him $10 in order to get the new cord from him, which makes SpongeBob angry. SpongeBob then pays up Mr. Krabs and gives Sandy the new cord for her vent, and asked the two if they wanted to stay at her place to cool off. They both agreed. No one. Wait, what? They both agreed no witch brings them into more trouble when the sun puts SpongeBob in a place to where he can't move around. At last, Patrick comes with a smart idea that they had a swimming pool they could cool off a lot faster, and SpongeBob completely agreed with. I'm sorry, I just do not like the grammar here, and I know I said I wasn't going to bring it up again, but I'm sorry, the grammar is just very bad here. SpongeBob pulls out his swimming pool and invites Mr. Krabs, Squidward, and Sandy over for a pool party, and everyone had a great time cooling off from the pool, ending the episode. So the characters are SpongeBob, Patrick, Squidward, Mr. Krabs, and Sandy. Alright, so next is a Social Sponge. Uh, alright, there we go. Yeah, sorry for the pause there. My laptop charger kind of went out a little bit. Alright, so SpongeBob is inside his home playing a game of Roblox with Gary and starts talking about the joys of talking to people online rather than meeting people in person. It's Bikini Bottom's first social media website where everyone could talk online and make life easier. He calls his website Social Sponge. After creating the website, SpongeBob then sends his first email message to Patrick, to which he receives while he watched Uptown Funk. Yeah, that's one of my biggest problems with this series is that I try to like throw in modern day pop culture and it really doesn't work. Patrick was amazed from his email and types a reply back to SpongeBob, which switches over to Sandy's house. Sandy then gets the email about SpongeBob's website and feels confident for him to create something new and exciting. Meanwhile, at the Krusty Krab, Squidward then finds out about the social media site too, and Mr. Krabs, to his greed, is worried that SpongeBob isn't coming to work. Mr. Krabs then finds SpongeBob's message online and then sends him one back to return to work. SpongeBob then gets the email from Mr. Krabs telling him to report back to work, which upsets SpongeBob into making him send threat messages to his friends. When Mr. Krabs receives the email from SpongeBob, him and Squidward must warn Sandy and Patrick about the hateful messages. Mr. Krabs and Squidward arrives at Sandy's treat home where she explains to them about the hateful messages and then runs off to tell Patrick. Patrick gets the news and the four comes with a plan to get revenge on SpongeBob. The plan was for Patrick to drag SpongeBob's desktop outside his curb driveway and Squidward to smash the computer with a sledgehammer. Patrick then proceeds to take the desktop from SpongeBob's grasp and mere seconds later, Squidward then destroys the desktop with a sledgehammer. SpongeBob gets angry at him and Gary leaves to watch a PG-13 rated film at the movies with the others taking the busted computer to the dump, ending the episode. So yeah, the characters are the exact same as the last episode, with the exception of Gary. Well, Gary is in this episode, but these are the same characters from the previous episode. Alright, so the quotes are, "I can't believe you've destroyed my computer. Next time I'll destroy your houses." That's the wrong your. Man, okay, whatever. SpongeBob, I sound nothing like that purple idiot, Patrick. Yeah, the grammar is just so bad. Like, words can't describe it. Alright, so we have two more articles left for season 2015, and that is Retroland and the Treasure Hunt. Typing right now. Alright, so Retroland. SpongeBob and Patrick are at Patrick's place playing the original Super Mario Brothers game on an NES. SpongeBob then explains to Patrick how to play Super Mario Brothers, and Patrick explains Mario's popularity. After the brief discussion, the two began to play the game where SpongeBob keeps losing lives. After losing their last life, Patrick gets angry and wishes that they could go inside the game and beat it themselves rather than Mario. SpongeBob then agrees with Patrick and they both jumped inside the TV into the video game. When they arrive, the two notice the live counter above their heads and tries not to lose them all. SpongeBob and Patrick then encounters a Goomba where Patrick calls him a brown muffin, which angers the Goomba. The Goomba soon threatens to defeat Patrick if he calls him a muffin one last time, in which he did. Patrick lost a life, and the Goomba walks away, which angers SpongeBob that Patrick lost his life. Sooner or later, SpongeBob and Patrick spots a Koopa Troopa, and yet again, the Koopa gets angry when Patrick calls him a little turtle. The Koopa walks away, leading SpongeBob and Patrick to a gold pole. Right when they were about to grab it, Mario and Luigi arrives, which shocks the two sea creatures. SpongeBob and Patrick then encounters Mario and Luigi for the first time, where the Mustachio brothers pulls out rocket launchers for them entering their game. SpongeBob and Patrick was then forced to say a pledge for Mario and Luigi for them not to enter their game again, which they agreed upon. SpongeBob and Patrick then returns home from the retro video game world and proceeds to burn the original Super Mario Bros. Game, NES, and controllers. As the game's roasted, they sing goodbye Super Mario Bros. Auld Lang Syne and proceeds to go to the arcades to make up playing Mario Bros., ending the episode. So the characters are SpongeBob, Patrick, Mario, Luigi, Goomba, and Koopa Troopa. Quote, "Darn it, I touched the brown muffin." Patrick. "Oh no, it's Mario, the guy from the video game." SpongeBob. "Hold it right there, you fiends." From Mario. Alright, goodbye, Super Mario Brothers. "Goodbye, Super Mario Brothers, your games are now over. We've played your games, and they suck. You can all forget that. Those enemies, they suck so bad, Goombas and Koopas. Your days are through as we roast you. Goodbye and good riddance." Alright, so the last article that I created for season 2015 is the treasure hunt. Yeah, here it is right here. Alright, so the treasure hunt. SpongeBob is out walking in downtown Bikini Bottom and sings a little song. He then approaches a piece of paper lying on the road and proceeds to read it. To his discovery, SpongeBob notices he found a treasure map and plans to show it with his friends. SpongeBob arrives at the Krusty Krab and tells everyone about the treasure map and plans to take the crew on a treasure hunt. Squidward is then disgusted about the idea, but tags along anyways. The crew then heads to Goo Lagoon to find an abandoned ship for them to travel in, while SpongeBob sings a treasure hunt song. The gang makes it to Goo Lagoon, where SpongeBob finally finds a ship and gives his friends each a task. Squidward, accidentally spelled that wrong, was asked to pull the anchor when they arrived at the island. Patrick is the main helper, Mr. Krabs asked to steer, and Sandy was the lookout. And then I stopped midway through and I didn't finish the article. Yeah, that pretty much shows you right there that I had no plans on fully making this whole article or this wiki. But yeah, that's all of season 2015. So now we're going to go over to season 2016, which, by the way, I haven't made any articles based off of the episodes for that season. Alright, so it says season 2016 is the second season of SpongeBob SquarePants Roblox Series. The season aired from April 1st, 2016 to December 27, 2016, with a total of 21 episodes. So the episodes are SpongeBob and the Samurai Sword, SquidCon, Promotion to Bikini Bottom, The Revenge of Mario and Luigi, The Final Exam, Stretchless Squidward, Clone the Sponge, Scammy Plankton, Call of the Jellyfish, Sandy Moves Out, Radio Star, The SpongeBob Wolf, Cool Patrick. Apparently there is an article here. I don't know if I created it or not, but I'm not sure. Krabby World, Prank Day, Strand Paradise, Patrick Sleepwalk, Under the Influence, Papa Squidward, The Pied Plankton, A Sticky Situation, Lost in Space, Mail Bob Delivery Pants, Ghostly Stories, Patrick Makes Perfect, The Wishing Tree, The Ooze from the Lagoon, Patrick's Prickly Friend, Bikini Idol, and Squirrel Season. Alright, the mini shorts are Paint War, The Great Go-Kart Race, Sharing is Caring. The specials are A SpongeBob's Anniversary and SpongeBob for President. Alright, so let's go to Cool Patrick. Okay, somebody made an article, but they didn't actually make anything. Okay, so I guess that was a waste of time. Alright, so let's move on to season 2017. Alright, let's do that really quick. Alright, season 2017. And I did make a few articles from this season. Alright, so the episodes are Happy New Year's, Wittopia, Krusty Party, The Island Stood Still, SpongeBob Bob's Farm, Pat Rules, The Flood, Abandoned Snail, A Year of the Dragon, Divorce, Camp Frightmare, Grand Sponge Auto, Who Framed Mr. Krabs, Patissimo the Great, The Vanishing Sponge, Rick's Apartment, Safecrackers, The Adventures of Mighty Star, Boating Band, The Tiki's Curse, Jelly Bellies, Jurassic Sponge 2, Bad Fur Day, The Chum's Secret, The Dream Machine, Meet the Squids, Cook Off, Jellyfish Mines, The New Manager, Sponge in the Middle, Blackmail Pat, Shipwreck Shanty, Losers Are Us, Cabin Fever, Krabby Notes, Plankton Rides Again, Alien Invasion, Squid Care, and the mini shorts are Block Fort Mayhem, Patrick's Song, and Krabs Night Out. Alright, so we're going to now read the articles from this season. Alright, Happy New Year's. Happy New Year's is the first episode of season 2017. This episode is about SpongeBob and friends getting ready for New Year's by celebrating with fireworks. Alright, so the plot is SpongeBob is indoors with Gary discussing his plans for New Year's to him. SpongeBob leaves for work to see Sandy with her fireworks display and ask if he could test fire one of the. Oh, sorry. Let me read this again. SpongeBob leaves for work to see Sandy with her fireworks display and asks if he could test fire one of them. Sandy answers with no, leaving SpongeBob to have no choice to go to work at the Krusty Krab. Let's see. Okay. When he arrives, he finds a note that it's closed for New Year's. He becomes highly upset that Mr. Krabs will close the restaurant. SpongeBob arrives at Mr. Krabs' house and notices it's locked. After waiting a good minute or two, SpongeBob crashes inside with a small tank to find Mr. Krabs lying in a pile of money. Mr. Krabs encourages SpongeBob to go off and finish his New Year's plans, and then he proceeds to do so. Alright, so SpongeBob then sees Patrick where he shows off his giant firework missile that he'll use for New Year's. Dusk arrives and SpongeBob still hasn't came up with his plans for New Year's and decides to go to the Bargain Mart to do some last minute shopping. When he arrives, he notices that the Bargain Mart is also closed for New Year's and begins to see red. He breaks inside the store and takes all the remaining fireworks and proceeds his way to the park with his pals. Mr. Krabs, Patrick, Squidward, and Sandy are already at the park waiting for SpongeBob, and when he arrives, they begin with the fireworks display. SpongeBob first showed off his fireworks, and Sandy afterwards. Squidward's fireworks ended up backfiring, causing him to get blown up, and proceeds to go home and get a wash up. After the fireworks, Mr. Krabs pulls out a countdown timer, and the others begins to count down to New Year's, ending off the episode. Alright, so the characters are SpongeBob, Patrick, Mr. Krabs, Squidward, Sandy, Gary, Pagey, Cameo. Alright, the music, Old Lang Syne, Fluffing a Duck, The Great Tower Showdown, Shop, Clenched Teeth, Game Over, Ultra Polka, Credits Theme, quotes, What is up with these closing hours, SpongeBob? How about you pop these nuts, Patrick? Squidward. I spent hours working on this, and it's going to be a huge shocker, Patrick. Alright, so that was Happy New Year's. So next is Squidtopia. Alright, Squidtopia is an episode from season 2017 where SpongeBob and Squidward visiting a strange island inhabited by squids alike. The plot, SpongeBob is about to take Squidward. Squidward is about to take his morning walk to find SpongeBob right in front of him. Hold on, you guys. Alright, you guys, I am back. Sorry about that interruption there. Well, it wasn't really an interruption. I had to take care of something really quick, but I'm back. So as I was saying, Squidward is about to take his morning walk to find SpongeBob right in front of him. SpongeBob then asks Squidward if he would like to go to Goo Lagoon with him, and Squidward was edgy to say no, but was forced to go with SpongeBob anyways. The two arrives at Goo Lagoon, where SpongeBob asks Squidward what they wanted to do. Let's see here. Squidward encourages a boat ride, and right away SpongeBob agreed with the idea, making Squidward concerned. The two find a canoe out by the ocean, where Squidward begins to chicken out, causing SpongeBob to get angry against him. After their small arguments, SpongeBob and Squidward proceeds their way on their boat journey. SpongeBob then spots a small island as their next destination, where Squidward begins to think it's not a good idea. The island was happened to be called Squidtopia, where SpongeBob and Squidward finds a tribe of colored squid villagers with their king, a giant blue octopus with a giant yellow crown. The king welcomes them to Squidtopia, where SpongeBob gags about the king being Squidward's father, and as he admires Squidward's appearance. The king and the villagers Squidward the Squidtopia motto, which is once you step foot on Squidtopia, you must stay and become ruler. Squidward explains that he has a house of his own, causing the king of Squidtopia to become cross and orders one of his villagers excuse me, to hold him hostage. A giant cage falls and locks Squidward, causing SpongeBob to be shocked with fear. The purple-colored Squidtopia villager opens a magic book, and a gust of wind blows SpongeBob off the island as the king laughed with an evil pride. SpongeBob emerges from the ocean to proceed his way to save Squidward from Squidtopia and the evil inhabitants. After passing through the sleeping king and his tribe, SpongeBob frees Squidward from the cage and causes an alarm to go off. The king awakens and proceeds to attack SpongeBob and Squidward, where Squidward throws a dagger into the king's eyes. The king screams in pain, causing him to fly into the air and explodes into a sky blue firework along with the others. Squidward thanks SpongeBob for freeing him and tells him that this was one of his best times he had ever had. The ending shows SpongeBob and Squidward returning home safely from Squidtopia, with the king stranded on the island above the oceans of Bikini Bottom admiring it. Alright, so the characters are Squidward, SpongeBob, Squidtopian King, and Squidtopians. Music, Crystal Cave, Fluffing the Duck, Beach Boardwalk, Carnival Caribbean, Clenched Teeth, Forsaken Fortress, Invasion 1, Crystal Cave's Boss, Boss Clear, and Clock Tower Day 2. Quotes, you have 6 tentacles, idiot, SpongeBob. Get over here, you little shrimp, Squidtopian King. Take this, you fiend, Squidward. Alright, so next is Krusty Party. Guys, I'm sorry. Okay, you guys, sorry about that again. My laptop charger was being weird, so I disconnected it so we can continue. Alright, so here we are in Krusty Party. Krusty Party is an episode from season 2017 where SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squidward sets up a surprise party for Mr. Krabs at the Krusty Krab. The plot, SpongeBob is at the Krusty Krab, lying aside the stove of how bored today is. Squidward is seen reading a book where SpongeBob emerges to ask Squidward if he was bored also. Squidward ignores SpongeBob's question, and Mr. Krabs shows up from his office explaining that he is going to the park to have a picnic with his grandfather and soon flies away from unknown power. SpongeBob then has the idea for a surprise party for Mr. Krabs for being such a supposed to be wonderful manager. Man, this grammar. I don't know why I couldn't spell for the life of me, like for real. Like this isn't, whatever. And makes Squidward become a part of it. This upsets Squidward a little to a point where he is forced to help out with the party. Patrick arrives a few moments and to help out with the surprise party, where SpongeBob pulls out a clipboard explaining the jobs of each. Squidward must get party decorations from the bargain mart while Patrick bakes a cake. Squidward leaves to get the decorations as SpongeBob hands Patrick a cookbook where Patrick is desperate to make a cake from scratch. At the bargain mart, Squidward is shocked to notice that all the Plan Your Party kits were sold out and goes off to steal one from someone. He gives the cashier his $100 bill and hijacks his car off to the suburban. That's not how you spell suburban part of town, and search for the kit. Meanwhile, at the Krusty Krab, Patrick is in the kitchen baking the cake and soon falls asleep during the waiting process, causing the cake to catch on fire inside the stove. Like you see here, I wrote the twice for some reason. SpongeBob hurries to the kitchen and sees Patrick sleeping with the burning cake inside the stove and throws a bucket of water at it. Patrick awakens to hear SpongeBob yelling at him from burning the cake and tells him that it was an accident. SpongeBob then receives a call from Mr. Krabs that he'll be arriving back at the Krusty Krab shortly, and in fear tells Patrick to hurry with the cake before he returns. Squidward arrives at the suburban area where he finds a red party box out in the middle of the road. He takes the box and soon and soon drives off back to the Krusty Krab to start the party. SpongeBob and Patrick are seen inside the Krusty Krab, adding the last few touches to the cake, where Squidward comes in and starts decorating the restaurant chain. Back from the picnic, Mr. Krabs sees the Krusty Krab in colorful banners and streamers, and everyone surprises him with the cake. The episode ends with the gang huddle up at the table and proceeds to eat the cake made from Patrick and chants about Mr. Krabs being such a wonderful manager. Alright, so the characters are SpongeBob, Patrick, Squidward, Mr. Krabs, and Bluefish. Music, Emerald Circus, Gloomy Spiral Mountain, Ultra Polka, Master of Feast, Monkey Spitting Monkeys, Game Over, Creepy Castle Boss, Clock Tower Day 2, and credits. Yes, I'm not reading where the music tracks are from because I don't have all day here. Quote, why today must be so boring, no customers, no dignity, nothing, SpongeBob. Why did I agree to do this, Squidward? Stop taking L's, Patrick. Oh, I'm sorry, stop taking L's, SpongeBob, said by Patrick. And here's the episode thumbnail. Yeah, I'll just click on it and show it to you. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, you may also notice that I'm not clicking on the title cards just because that you guys can still see it right here. But yeah. Alright, so next is The Island Stood Still. Hold on. Alright, here we go. The Island Stood Still. Alright, so The Island Stood Still is an episode from season 2017 where SpongeBob must travel in space to return the Earth back to its correct axis. Alright, so the plot is SpongeBob and Patrick are outdoors enjoying a nice bowl of tortilla chips, relaxing in the sunshine. Somewhere in outer space, the Earth begins to tilt on its side, causing everything in Bikini Bottom to sink below the ground. With shock, SpongeBob and Patrick rushes to Sandy's tree dome for any explanations behind the sinking of their houses. When they arrived, even Sandy didn't know the causes of the houses being sinking, which makes SpongeBob very curious. SpongeBob finds Sandy's laptop on her picnic table, where Patrick and Sandy catches him dead-handed. SpongeBob and Sandy has a small argument regarding to the laptop, where SpongeBob thinks that Sandy is planning to nuke Bikini Bottom because of the radar on the screen. Sandy explains that she's checking the solar system, and with a quick glance, they've noticed the Earth isn't right. SpongeBob suggests that he'll go into outer space to return the Earth back to Axis, but will have to go to Goo Lagoon first to... Wait, hold on. Oh yeah, must go to Goo Lagoon first to proceed the process. Sandy, Patrick, and Squidward arrives at Goo Lagoon, where they are going to help SpongeBob on his space mission. SpongeBob emerges from the snack bar in his full astronaut suit, as the others wish good luck upon him. SpongeBob reaches to outer space and proceeds to pull the Earth with a space rope he brought with him. Squidward is then asked to leave as an excuse to get Big Gulp at the Bargain Mart. Back in space, SpongeBob struggles with the space rope as he tries tugging as the Earth won't move. He then has an idea that he will absorb the air into space for him to gain weight, heavy enough for him to push the Earth back to its axis, and proceeds to do this process. The Earth begins to spin, causing everything back down on Earth to spin also. Everything turns back to normal at the end, and resulting Squidward's house to get sunk from Everything turns back to normal at the end, resulting Squidward's house to get sunk from a press of a switch when he didn't get his way. Alright, so we got the characters, SpongeBob, Patrick, Squidward, and Sandy. Music, Windfall Island. G-flat March. Puppet Ganon, Spider Mode. Godan. Boss Clear, Ultra Polka, the Great Tower Showdown, Crystal Caves. And we got the quotes. Maybe just one day, SpongeBob could be our new motivation speaker. Patrick. Calling your own best friend an idiot. SpongeBob. I was making sure that the planets were spinning correctly, you idiot. Sandy. I hate Diet Bit Gulp. Squidward. And here's the episode thumbnail. Just generic font. Very generic font. The island stood still. Alright, so next is SpongeBob Bob's Farm. Alright, here it is. So, SpongeBob Bob's Farm is an episode from season 2017 where SpongeBob opens his own farm with his pals. So the plot is SpongeBob is outside planting his own garden by placing flower pots in an empty flower box. After making his garden, Squidward sees SpongeBob and notices how unprofessional his garden is, and suggests that SpongeBob should make his own garden by hand. SpongeBob was confused at first and gets that Squidward wants him to make his own farm so he could make crops in hand-planted gardens. Squidward then proceeds his way to be alone, and SpongeBob is off to start his own farming business. Squidward is outside resting in the suburban part of town and is randomly warped to SpongeBob's farm. He awakens in a wheat field and sees SpongeBob in a farmer's outfit with a straw hat and blue overalls. SpongeBob laughs at Squidward and introduces himself as SpongeBob. Squidward is shocked to see that SpongeBob took his advice, and SpongeBob gave Squidward a grand tour of the farm. They first meet with Patrick wearing distinct blue overalls over by a pumpkin patch. Squidward calls Patrick a goofball from the way he's dressed, causing SpongeBob to get very angry and proceeds to tell Squidward the rules of the farm. The two meets up with Sandy over by the barn near a horse, and Squidward complains that she's not wearing overalls, and SpongeBob tells him to shut up. Last but not least, they meet up with Mr. Krabs by a tractor and says hello. After the tour, Squidward becomes curious of what his job is at the farm, and that is to clean up after the animals given by SpongeBob. Squidward gets very angry at his new job, and SpongeBob begins to sing SpongeBob Had a Farm. After the song, SpongeBob and Patrick are on the barn's roof, throwing grain sacks into the silo. They completed their tasks, and Squidward tells SpongeBob when they will get paid from the work they are doing. This leads to SpongeBob very concerned about Squidward's question and explains that no one is getting paid and that the farm is all for fun. Squidward becomes furious when he notices that SpongeBob was using someone's farm the whole time and proceeds his way to contact the farm owner. Patrick gets angry about the news and tells the other about the situation. Everyone is now against SpongeBob from about the news, and SpongeBob becomes very worried about what the farm owner could do to him. The owner of the farm arrives, and the rest goes inside the barn for SpongeBob to be dealt with his fate. The farmer then drags SpongeBob to his slaughterhouse to be punished and slices him with the butcher's knife. The murder was a success, and the farmer sits by his barn with coffee, with SpongeBob's head mudded to a stick, ending the episode. Alright, so the characters, same as always, and you got Farmer Old Jack. Yeah, I'm saying same as always because it's the same freaking characters. SpongeBob, Patrick, Stewart, Mr. Krabs, and Sandy, it's the same characters. Quotes, guys, whatever you do not leave my back, SpongeBob. Patrick, you look like a goofball wearing them overalls, Squidward. And you know what happens when somebody trespasses on my farm? They get punished brutally bad, Farmer Old Jack. Music, N64, Yoshi's Valley, title theme, Jump, Jump, Jumping, Game Over. Old MacDonald Had a Farm, composed on Soundtrap. Shop, Crystal Caves, Boss, Catastrophe, and the Zombie King. So we got song, SpongeBob Had a Farm. Sponge McBob had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, and on his farm he had some friends, E-I-E-I-O, with some help over here, some help over there, pitch together and get the job done. Sponge McBob had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. I wish I had a new job. And here's the thumbnail for the episode right here. Yeah, very generic. All right, so next is Pat Rules. So we're doing that right now. And we're almost done here with the episode articles that I created for this wiki. All right, so Pat Rules is an episode from season 2017 where Patrick must avoid breaking rules while visited by two conflicts. Patrick leaves home admiring a beautiful morning. Oh, excuse me. And proceeds to Squidward's house. He sees him over by a picnic table with a slice of cake and asks if he could have a piece. From Squidward deny, he tells Patrick no, which upsets him a little. Squidward then goes inside to get water, leaving Patrick outside with the slice of cake on the picnic table. Moments later, an angel Patrick arrives, telling Patrick that he should not Squidward's slice of cake. Well, it's supposed to be that he should not eat Squidward's slice of cake. A devil Patrick comes minutes in, convincing Patrick to eat the slice of cake, and Patrick proceeds to do so. Squidward comes back from inside, so the devil and angel Patrick. Wait, what? So the angel and devil Patrick from dissipated from Patrick's approval. Squidward sees the missing cake, and Patrick completely ignores Squidward's request for not being sorry from eating his cake, and goes off to the park. When Patrick arrives, he sees Plankton with a firework and convinces Patrick to help him blow up the playground set with it. Patrick agrees with Plankton's evil plan and then pulls out a match. He lights the firework, and the entire playground set explodes into ashes. Patrick and Plankton's evil duo brings back the devil Patrick and sees that the damage really did pay off. Arrive comes Squidward, causing the devil Patrick to flee again, and Squidward sees the aftermath of the playground destruction. Squidward then begins to dial the police and tells Patrick that they should arrive at the Bikini Bottom Congress Center with a meeting is held for Patrick's punishment for the rules he had broken at dusk. Squidward Patrick arrives in tuxedos at the Congress Center, and SpongeBob comes along for the meeting as well. Inside the center, Patrick is met with the congressman and begins to tell the story about the amount of rules he had broken along with the angel and devil Patricks. The congressman didn't believe in Patrick, causing the devil Patrick to arrive in the Congress Center to cause more trouble. Patrick sees the final chance to get rid of the devil Patrick by sending volts of electricity to attack the devil Patrick. The devil Patrick explodes from the voltage, and the congressman is pressing all the charges of Patrick breaking the rules and destroying the playground. Doesn't mean he's not pressing charges, because pressing charges means that you get in trouble for it. Whatever. At the end of the day, SpongeBob and Patrick congratulates Patrick for defeating the devil Patrick and for leaving to never. Wait, sorry. SpongeBob and Squidward congratulates Patrick for defeating the devil Patrick and learning to never break rules again. Patrick then finds a pack of exploding chewing gum and eats it, and his head blows, ending the episode. Sorry for my reading is all over the place, you guys. I apologize for that. The characters: SpongeBob, Patrick, Squidward, Plankton, Angel Patrick, Devil Patrick, and Congressman. All right, so the music is Inside the Ship, title screen, Majora's Theme, Jumping, Penning, Puppet Gang, Spider Mode, title screen, Crystal Caves Boss, Boss Clear, and credits. Quote, "This is all your fault. You're the one making me dress up in the suit and tie looking like James Bond. Patrick. Shut up, Patrick. Of course you have to dress like this, Squidward. Patrick, you might not want to eat that, SpongeBob." All right, here's the thumbnail of the video right here. Is very generic. All right, next is the flood right here, so which is right here. All right, so we have episode description. The Flood is an episode from season 2017 where SpongeBob leaves the sink at the Krusty Krab running, causing Bikini Bottom to flood overnight. So we have plot, evening arrives, and SpongeBob is singing a song while washing the dishes at the Krusty Krab. Squidward then tells SpongeBob to hurry up. Mr. Krabs then comes from his office with his key, and notice also that SpongeBob is still washing dishes. After being told by both, SpongeBob leaves from the kitchen, leaving the sink on during the night. The Krusty Krab begins to flood as the sink overflowed. The water reached everywhere, and everyone's houses were flooded. The next day arrives, and SpongeBob notices that Bikini Bottom is flooded and figures what could be the cause. He finds Squidward on top of his house as he explains to SpongeBob about the strange flood waters. Patrick arrives very angrily and tells SpongeBob that the flood waters has damaged his television set. He continues to speak and asks him if he knows anything about the flood. SpongeBob answers no to Patrick, which causes Squidward to know. Long stand on his rooftop proceeds to fall down. Okay. The three tries to come up with ideas to get rid of the flood waters, and Patrick suggests that they should drink it all up with bendy straws. Squidward thought the idea was stupid, but accepted it minutes in. Patrick begins to drink the waters with a straw to be disgusted from its bitter taste. Patrick then apologizes to Squidward and swim up, and soon a giant wave came towards the three. Again, the grammar is very off. Mr. Krabs comes out of his house in a jet ski, proceeding to rescue SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squidward from the raging flood waters. After the getaway, Mr. Krabs takes the three to a secret drainage pipe out in Bikini Bottom. An elevator soon appears in which SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squidward takes as they travel down the pipe to figure the cause of the flood waters. Traveling down the rusty pipe, SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squidward begin singing inside the pipe in a nice fashion. They arrived back to ground floor and told Mr. Krabs that a road closed stopped them from traveling down further inside the pipe. SpongeBob then confesses to the others that it was him who caused the flood in Bikini Bottom when he purposely left the sink on at the Krusty Krab during the night. The others gets angry and forces SpongeBob to figure out a way to get rid of the waters on his own. Back at Conch Street, SpongeBob has an idea of absorbing all of the water. Mr. Krabs, Patrick, and Squidward arrives back to see the giant yellow sponge figure blocking their way. They soon realize it was SpongeBob, all absorbed up with water, and proceeds to drain the water into an empty swimming pool. At the end of the day, the gang had a pool party as SpongeBob apologizes and had a great time. Alright, so the characters SpongeBob, Patrick, Squidward, Mr. Krabs. Quotes, drink the flood waters, Patrick. Are you that stupid? Squidward. Don't worry, Squidward. Flood water is 100% drinkable. Patrick. No killer waves is going to hurt me, friends. Mr. Krabs. Alright, music, Sawmill Thrill, Carnival Caribbean, Hyper Fun, Crystal Caves, Boss, Go Dan, Glitter Gulch Mine, Inside the Pipe Melody, Shop, and The Great Tower Showdown 2. Alright, song, Inside the Pipe, verse 1, SpongeBob. Inside the pipe, there's lots of things to do. Inside the pipe, we must find the clue. Patrick. Inside the pipe, we must find the clue. Inside the pipe, we must find the clue. Squidward. Inside the pipe, it's very, very nasty. Well, it's supposed to be nasty, not nast. I think I'm going to throw up. SpongeBob, Patrick, the road says it's closed here. I think we should head home now. SpongeBob, why must the road close here? I think we did great. Patrick, Squidward is right, SpongeBob. We should head home till the day is done. SpongeBob, inside the pipe, we failed the mission. Inside the pipe, I feel very sad. Patrick, inside the pipe, don't worry, SpongeBob. We'll tell Mr. Krabs that the song is finally done. Verse 2, SpongeBob, what do you think Mr. Krabs is going to say when we'll tell him about the news? Patrick, I think he'll take the advice, because he's a very, very smart lad, yo. Squidward, this song feels very, very restricted. I think I should head home right now. SpongeBob, oh, come on, Squidward, don't be a jerk. We can help together to end this war. Patrick, the pipe. Okay. SpongeBob, inside the pipe, inside the pipe. And here's the episode thumbnail. It's very generic. It's just the ocean and the word the flood. That's really about it. Alright, so next is Abandoned Snail. All right, so Abandoned Snail is an episode from season 2017 where SpongeBob and Patrick must save Gary from the snail pound. All right, so the plot: SpongeBob and Gary are outside watching a breaking news report on TV about snail pounding season, and all snails must remain indoors. SpongeBob becomes worried about Gary's protection from the snail pounders, which brings Patrick along. He tells SpongeBob about the news with the snail pounders and agreed that they could hang out at his place so Gary could feel well protected rather than SpongeBob's house. The three finally went inside Patrick's rock. Wait, let's see. Where they played Monopoly together. After 5 hours of gameplay, SpongeBob and Patrick fell asleep, leaving Gary to escape from Patrick's rock. When Gary arrived outside, a white truck with a snail pounder nearby arrives and attempts to take Gary away. Gary then gets caught by a fishing line and is thrown into the truck as the snail pounder drives away very evilly. SpongeBob wakes up from his nap to find out that Gary is missing. Patrick wakes up as well as SpongeBob tells. Wait, let's see. Okay, SpongeBob tells him about Gary going missing and is afraid that the snail pounders must have gotten him. The two went outside to notice that a sign by Patrick's rock that the snail pounder indeed took Gary away, causing SpongeBob to panic even more. Patrick rushes to find a motor transportation car in order to help them out. Hours pass and Patrick arrives in the paddy wagon, and SpongeBob glances at it in surprise. SpongeBob and Patrick takes a drive by the suburban part of the town and search for Gary to be stopped by a toll booth. The man running the toll booth demands Patrick to pay $5, in which Patrick refuses to pay. Patrick then threats the man running the toll booth, causing him to let SpongeBob and Patrick pass through the gate without the need of paying. Meanwhile, at the snail pound, the entire snail pound scenario was all a trap set by Plankton, the snail pounder, then discuss on how they will torture Gary and how they will react when SpongeBob and Patrick becomes involved. SpongeBob and Patrick arrives at the snail pound to see that the place has many sets of stairs. They encountered all the stairs to the main room of the snail pound to see Plankton and the snail pounder together. Patrick then kicks the snail pounder in the nuts, causing him to fall on the open door button and proceed to rescue Gary. SpongeBob, Patrick, and Gary finally escapes the Plankton and gets the final blow when when Patrick places a bomb, causing the entire building to explode. At the end, SpongeBob, Patrick, and Gary flew home and felt very happy about their accomplishment. Alright, so the characters are SpongeBob, Patrick, Gary, Plankton, Toll Booth Man, Snail Pounder, and News Reporter. Quotes: "This place looks scary in the outside. What danger faces us from the inside?" Patrick: "I'm gonna bet them. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna beat them so hard until their skulls lay on the ground because I don't want anybody touching my precious Gary." SpongeBob: "Yes, yes." Plankton: "Nya." Snail Pounder: "Okay." Music: Gloomy Spiral Mountain, News Theme, Carefree, Piranha's Lullaby, Boss Battle, Majora's Theme, Denny's Jetpack, Fluffing a Duck, Angry Aztec Boss, Lost Alive / Game Over, and Special World 3. And here's the thumbnail of the video. Generic font, and you got Keep Calm, because haters gonna hate. You got the Snail Pounder, and you got Gary. So yeah. Alright, so we have 2 more episode articles left. Next is Year of the Dragon. Year of the... Wait, hold on. Alright, there. Year of the Dragon. Here it is. Alright, so Year of the Dragon is an episode from season 2017 where SpongeBob goes on a journey to find the legendary Good Luck Dragon from an old Chinese tale. Alright, the plot: SpongeBob and Patrick are relaxing nearby some sand dunes and admiring the nice weather. As they are relaxing, they soon begin to hear some weird music in the background and sees a strange ship coming towards them. The ship had a man inside, wishing everyone a happy Year of the Dragon, and then floats away. SpongeBob and Patrick has never heard of Year of the Dragon and are very curious of what it's about. Patrick suggests that SpongeBob should tell Mr. Krabs about the holiday and if he knew anything about it. So he took his words and went over to the Krusty Krab to tell Mr. Krabs. Arriving at the Krusty Krab, Mr. Krabs is shocked to see SpongeBob coming in on a Saturday where he usually don't work. SpongeBob asks Mr. Krabs if he knew anything about Year of the Dragon, and Mr. Krabs happens to know about the holiday since he learned it back in school. He proceeds to tell the story about Year of the Dragon, and which is a holiday celebrated to dedicate the good luck dragon who gives out good luck to everyone. After the story, SpongeBob thinks the story was real, and Mr. Krabs tells SpongeBob that the whole tale was a myth. This angers SpongeBob and proceeds to tell Mr. Krabs that he will prove him wrong when he goes out and find the dragon himself. SpongeBob then creates a teleporter to teleport himself to the Good Luck Dragon's lair. When he arrives, he notices the place was very dark and gritty with volcanoes and rigid rocks and mountains. He then does a dragon call to see if he will respond, and nothing happened. SpongeBob becomes upset that Mr. Krabs was right about the story being false and proceeds to go home. Meanwhile, SpongeBob hears scary sounds, and right in front of him was the Good Luck Dragon himself. To his amazement, SpongeBob and the Good Luck Dragon had a well-hearted conversation about why his holiday is so important. At the end, SpongeBob takes a ride home with the Good Luck Dragon. They meet up with Mr. Krabs and Patrick, and all waved goodbye as the dragon flew away in the sunset. Alright, so the characters are SpongeBob, Patrick, Mr. Krabs, Good Luck Dragon Messenger, and the Good Luck Dragon. Quotes, this is some bull crap. I didn't came all the way here just to hear a story, Mr. Krabs. This is SpongeBob. Excuse me. It's just a story, Mr. Krabs. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye, Good Luck Dragon. Grumble Volcano, Carefree, Apollonia, a Shop, the Legendary Hero, Puppet Ganon, Spider Mode, Clenched Teeth, Hailfire Peaks, Puppet Ganon First Half, Jungle Japes Minecart, Chicken Dance Remix, Mini Song, The Legendary Good Luck Dragon. Oh, there once was a legend that I've never known. I must find the answer that can be told. I am off to find about the Year of the Dragon. The Year of Dragon. Oh, Mr. Krabs, will you help me answer this question? Alright, here's the episode thumbnail. Right here. Alright. So now we're about to read the final episode article that I created for this wiki, and that is Divorce. Divorce. Alright, here it is. Alright, so Divorce is an episode from season 2017 where Plankton and Karen gets a divorce after a heated argument. Alright, so the plot is it's late evening in the It's late evening in Bikini Bottom, and Plankton is seen at the chum bucket watching the angry German kid. A voice trumpet then rises in Plankton's room, where Karen speaks through it, telling Plankton that it's time for dinner. At first, Plankton refuses to come downstairs and demands Karen to bring the food upstairs instead, which causes Karen to yell at the top of her voice. Plankton then comes downstairs to notice a plate of holographic meatloaf. He then complains about it, causing Karen to remind him that it's his turn to take out the trash. Plankton becomes more furious than he was and proceeds to argue with Karen. This leads to Plankton and Karen getting a divorce and wish to never see each other again. Morning then arrives, and Plankton is seen at the park on a bench, searching for new love interests. His first encounter was Sandy, who refuses to go out with Plankton, and he asks if he wanted to go out with her. His second encounter was a naked woman with boobs, and proceeds to make out with her. A police officer and his K9 arrives and sees the romance going on and tells them they should stop unless they want to face jail time. When the cop left, the boyfriend of the girl sees that Plankton is making out with her and then beats up Plankton. After getting severely injured, Plankton had no choice to have a word with SpongeBob on how him and Karen can get back together. Plankton arrives to SpongeBob's place and tells him everything that had happened between Karen and him, and SpongeBob agrees that they should have a wedding to get back together. Plankton agrees with SpongeBob's idea, and the wedding was finally held that very same day. At the wedding, SpongeBob was the preacher, declaring the husband and wife of Plankton and Karen, and the couple agreed to never fight each other again. At the end, Plankton and Karen leaves the wedding chapel to steal the formula, leaving the others to chase after them. Alright, so the characters are SpongeBob, Patrick, Squidward, Mr. Krabs, Sandy, Mrs. Puff, Plankton, Karen, Fish People, Rick Star, Grandpa Squidward, Naked Woman, and Ghetto Guy. Alright, so the music is Happy Wonders, Fluffing a Duck, Majora's Theme, Title Theme, Thing Plunger, Puppet Ganon, Puppet Mode, Carefree, Furisado, Bridal Chorus, the Slight Whistle Song. Alright, well, pucker up and sucker up. Plankton, hold up, guys, wait for me. SpongeBob, I wouldn't say that if I were you, Plankton. Mr. Krabs. And here is the thumbnail. Right here. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and move over to the season 2018 article, which is not much. Yeah, trust me, it is not that much. Okay, so season 2018 episodes: Bikini Bottom Tour, Hunter Crab, Sandy's Revenge, Gary Tales, Patch's Work of Art, Sponge Resort, Emotion Commotion, Midnight Madness, Brain Dead, Crystal Terror, Lights Out, Airborne, and Aloha Sponge. Yeah, ignore this article right here. It hasn't been created. I mean, it has been created, but I don't know. Yeah, this is just all messed up. Like, I don't know why somebody came here and just decided to drop that, but yeah, it really doesn't matter. I don't use this wiki anymore. And here are the title cards of the episodes if you guys would like to see them. Okay, here are the title cards. Alright, so finally is season 2019. Well, it's not the final article of the wiki, but it is the final season article of the wiki. Alright, so season 2019. Season 2019 of SpongeBob SquarePants Roblox Series was confirmed on November 19, 2018. This season is the continuation of season 2018 and will serve as the bonus season of the series. It will contain only 7 segments. So the episodes are Patrick's Magic Carpet, Nuts of Glory, The Bubble of No Return, Plankton Funhouse, Jelly Bop, The Pirates of Bikini Bottom, and Marshalling Mars. And here are the title cards. Alright, so here is a comment. Only 7 segments? How about more? And I was like, no, son. Just go back to watch the older episodes. I'm done after this. It's time to move on. Alright, so I want to say that character list is indeed the final article that I created. Yeah, I do want to say that this is the final main article of the SpongeBob Roblox Series wiki. You know what? I'll just type it in. Character list. You serious? Yeah, somebody definitely came here and freaking vandalized this article. It's supposed to say this is supposed to say SpongeBob. I don't know why somebody just came here. Like, look, you guys, if you guys want to visit my wikis, do not vandalize them. It's not appropriate. All right, so this is SpongeBob. SpongeBob is the main character from SpongeBob SquarePants Roblox series. He's a very energetic sponge who works at the Krusty Krab, and he lives in a pineapple. On some occasions, SpongeBob's attitude towards his friends varies from very nice to very salty and mean, but still loves them no matter what. His best friend is Patrick, who is his neighbor, and both have very fun and exciting adventures. All right, this is Patrick. Patrick is another main character from SpongeBob SquarePants Roblox series. He is a dumb/smart, clumsy starfish who is best friends with SpongeBob and lives underneath a rock. Patrick, in some occasions, have very smart and funny moments with SpongeBob and the others, and if he needs a hand, SpongeBob will be the best answer. All right, Squidward. Squidward Tentacles is the grumpy octopus from SpongeBob SquarePants Roblox series. He lives in a tiki's head, and he is neighbors with SpongeBob and Patrick, and are annoyed by them. Unlike the others, Squidward's attitude is more aggressive and tries his very best to keep his stress down and to a minimum from the childishness going around him. All right, Mr. Krabs. Yeah, after this video, you know what? After I read this article, I'm gonna quickly change these names here because I just do not like the fact that some idiot just came here and vandalized it. All right, so Mr. Krabs. Mr. Krabs is the money-making boss from SpongeBob SquarePants Roblox series. He lives in an anchor and is the owner slash manager of the Krusty Krab restaurant chain. He's obsessed with money and loves having SpongeBob as his number one fry cook. Mr. Krabs has a very heartly voice and full of passion when it comes to his secret formula, which his antagonist, Sheldon J. Plankton, loves to steal at every second. All right, Sandy. Sandy is the scientific squirrel from SpongeBob SquarePants Roblox Series. She lives in a tree dome, but someone breathes without a helmet outside of her home. Was supposed to say sometimes. Outside of science, Sandy is out hanging out with SpongeBob and Patrick, having fun and out on dangerous missions. Plankton. Sheldon J. Plankton is the main antagonist from SpongeBob SquarePants Roblox Series. He lives slash work at the Chum Bucket, and his mission for stealing the Krabby secret formula. Throughout the series, Plankton is used crazy ways to cause havoc all over Bikini Bottom, such as trading Patrick magic beans for the formula, using a helicopter to grab Mr. Krabs' house away, and playing a magic flute to bring customers to his restaurant. Small in size, Plankton is not your friendly type of bacteria. Gary is SpongeBob's pet snail from SpongeBob SquarePants Roblox Series. He's a small snail with pink shell, with 10 blue spots and a light red spiral on his shell. Even though Gary only makes small cameos in the series, he still means a lot to SpongeBob and his friends sure adore. Mrs. Puff. Mrs. Puff is SpongeBob's driving instructor and SpongeBob SquarePants Roblox Series. She works at a boating school where SpongeBob is her main focus student who always seems to fail his test. In the final exam episode from season 2016, SpongeBob passed his exam with a 100 and delivered Mrs. Puff's some mail in Mail Bob delivery pants. All right, this is Rick Star. Rick Star is Patrick's cousin from SpongeBob SquarePants Roblox Series. He's a gray starfish with blue shorts and only appears in a few episodes. He loves motorcycles, M-rated movies, and wrestling, and has a very soft heart to Patrick. All right, Larry the Lobster. Larry the Lobster is a muscle-buffed lobster from SpongeBob SquarePants Roblox Series, first appearing in Ghostly Stories. He was at the bakery that Squidward. Wait, hold on. I'm sorry if I'm blanking out here. He was at the bakery that Squidward had his great great grandfather worked at, in which he ordered a cake from. He appeared at the ending of the Sharing is Caring short, and as a small cameo at the beginning of the Ooze from the Lagoon. Larry will be playing much bigger roles in season 2017. And you got the humanoids. Humanoids are human characters of SpongeBob SquarePants Roblox Series. Instead of fish people, humans now roam Bikini Bottom, making small appearances in a few episodes. The director from Promotion of Bikini Bottom, Sarah from Anchors Away, and the bluefish running the Bargain Mart are examples of the humanoid characters. Those are all the articles of the SpongeBob SquarePants Roblox Series wiki. Now I'm gonna go ahead and change these names here. So I'll be right back. Okay, guys, I am back. I am signed into my account so I can change these names that someone clearly came and vandalized. So once again, you guys, do not vandalize my articles, please. If you guys want to join my wikis, do not edit them. You can edit them, but do not edit them like this where it looks like you're vandalizing it. I'm just typing their full names. Yeah, after I do this, I'm going to end off the videos because I pretty much covered everything on this wiki. Yeah, there we go. Great. Squidward, tentacles, crabs, sandy cheeks, Sheldon J. Plankton. Wait, hold on. There we go. Gary the Snail, Mrs. Puff, Rick Star, Larry the Lobster, humanoids. All right, there we go, everyone. I'm gonna hit save. All right, there we go. Okay, everyone, thank you guys for watching this video. This is the final video of my fandom wiki journey. These are all the fandom wikis that I created using the fandom website. Again, my other videos links will be in the description below if you guys would like to check those out. So yeah, I'd like to thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time with more videos.